Hey, welcome to episode 132 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about the number one weapon that you guys can use to fight these debt collectors. And the number one weapon is a debt validation notice, or it's a letter that you can actually send to the collection company, whoever it is, whether they put on your credit report, whether you got a notice in your mail, hey, we got new debt for you. If you don't respond in 30 days, we're going to assume the debt is yours. You want to send this letter here, or maybe they just called you. Once you get a phone, like if I have a collection company call me, this is what I do. I say, oh, hi, how are you doing? Hi, it's Rickita. May I ask who's calling? Oh, this is so and so. They say, hey, this is Midland, this is Portfolio Recovery, whoever it is. Um, or sometimes they don't even want to say. I said, how are you going to call somebody and not tell me exactly who you are? What's the name of the company that you're working for? And I will jot that down. And I will also ask them, hey, what is your mailing address also? And do you have an account number for the account that you're asking about or you calling me about? And if you have that information, put that on this letter that I'm going to tell you. Like, don't go back and forth with these collection companies. You need to figure out exactly what information they have on you before you start running your mouth. Because I used to be the one that ran my mouth like, oh yeah, my name is Rickita. Oh yeah, you want my address? My address is this. Oh no, my social? Yeah, my social is this. What is this about? Okay, wait, ma'am. We have a few more things we need to ask you. What's your date of birth? Oh, my date of birth is this. I'm just running my mouth. But I have learned now to not do that and to send this letter that you can get again on my website, rickita.com, for free. So let's go ahead and check out this letter, and I know it will actually help you guys if you were to just send it out. So this is the debt validation letter. Now you'll put the debt here, you'll put your address in this spot, dear whatever the company is, and you see I made it so that you guys can just literally print this out and just have them available, have them stapled if you want to, or have them in a folder. So if you ever get a notice, especially if you know you're going through something, you almost want to file bankruptcy, but you trying to hold it off or whatever the case may be, then print out a lot of these, because I have to do the same thing too. So they send you a notice in the mail, then put an X right here and put the date of the notice, or you responding because it's on your credit report, then make sure that you guys check this spot out. Now you saying this is not a refusal, you just asking them to tell you about this debt. What is it about? How much it is. Show me that you actually owe it, and I will require at least 30 days for them to investigate it. So you're gonna let them. You basically gonna give them 30 days to investigate it, and then plus you tell them don't call me. Basically, don't call me, don't text me, don't email me, because don't forget, collection companies now can call you, text you, and email you. And then also this part of it right here says, I would also like to request in writing that no further telephone contact be made by the offices to my home or to my place of employment. Okay. All of this will be considered harassment when I send this to you. So go ahead and you can just type your name right there. Just write your name right there. You don't necessarily need to sign it. Now you're asking them to fill this stuff out. What's the name and address of the creditor? What's the name of the alleged debtor? What you think my name is? What's the account number? What's the address? All this different stuff you're asking them for. And you're requesting that they fill out this information and send it to you. Companies do not like to do this, you guys. They're going to try to just ignore you, and they're just not going to put on your credit reports, or sometimes they will send you information, sometimes they will fill this out, but a lot of times if they don't do this, again, they got 30 days to actually do this, especially if they send you stuff in the mail or they're calling you. If they don't actually do this, they can't put on your credit report. And the biggest thing I find with people is somebody taught me that this thing of the ball got to be in somebody else's court, basically the ball in your court, the ball in their court. If you don't respond to them, so if they tell you, hey, we're contacting you about a debt, you have to respond, because the ball is in your court now. So that means if you do not respond, then that means that they are able to put in your credit reports. They are able to continue to contact you. You're not telling them anything, so you now have to switch it and let it be in their court, where they have to respond saying, show me how I actually owe this debt. You see the few things that we were requesting, more than a few, but the things we were requesting that they fill out. If they do not do this, they cannot report it. They cannot continue to call you either, because you told them don't call me at my job, at my house. Don't contact me about this debt. So now the ball is in their court. Now it's up to them to prove now. But again, if you don't respond, you don't respond at all, then you're going to be in trouble. Now they have all these different rights to contact you, to put on your credit reports. They have a lot of rights to continue to pursue you and come after you. So I always tell people to definitely send out that debt validation notice, and it's going to help you when you send it out certified. Where's my stack of certifieds? Here is a stack of certified receipts. This is what you want to actually fill out. Now, when you guys fill it out, you can see you have tracking right here where my pinky is at. That's the tracking number that you want to put in to see, when did they actually get it? Because again, they got 30 days from the date that they did this to respond. If the account is already on your credit reports and you're sending this letter in regards to it being on your credit report, don't send it into your second round. Send out a letter to the credit bureaus first, because I'm not an attorney yet. I have read that for you to be able to sue them or come after them, you have to send a letter to the credit bureaus first, because the credit bureaus are the one that put it on your credit reports. They report it to the credit bureaus, but the credit bureaus say, okay, this is what it is. I'm going to put it on the credit report for you. So you have to send a letter to the credit bureaus first, and then you can go ahead and send a letter to that collection company. So I suggest that you guys send this out on the second month if it is on the credit reports. But if they were to ever call you, again, they call you, they send you some letter in the mail, then you can send it out right away to them. But if you basically looking at your credit, you're trying to fix your credit, you're trying to send out a letter, wait until the second month to actually send this out. But that's what I want to talk about. And then I want to talk about that validation notice. When they send you a notice, there's certain things that you need to have on that notice. A lot of companies were getting in trouble for not having certain things on a notice that they will send you. Remember the one I told you where it says, hey, if we don't hear from you in 30 days, then we're going to assume the debt is yours. You can put in your credit report. That's something they should have on that notice, because you don't even know that, that you have a right to that. So we're going to talk about that. And then hopefully I'll be able to have a sample to show you guys too on what that notice should look like. So we're going to definitely talk about that in the next episode. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. You can schedule a call on my website. And then also, not only can you schedule a call on my website, just call me 833 Rickita. I'll be happy to talk to you all. Just tell one of my assistants, hey, can I get on Rickita's schedule, or is Rickita available? I'll be happy to talk to you guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome to episode 133 of Credit 101. In this episode, I'm going to talk about understanding the debt validation notice. If you guys haven't seen it or don't fully understand it, the CFPB actually put out a sample letter that these companies can actually use, because we had new regulation come out. So I want to show you guys what this letter should look like. And if they're sending you something other than this, then they're messing up, okay? Because it's a few things that they need to include. If you guys have any questions, please go to my website, rickita.com, and schedule a call. And then also, you guys can get that free debt validation notice, or letter, should I say, not notice, on my website. So this is the letter that you guys will actually send to the company. When you get this, what I'm going to show you, then you actually send this to the company. So go ahead and get that for free on my website. Let's actually check out this debt validation notice. So this is just an example of what you guys will actually get. So this will be the information for the company. You'll see their website here, their name, their address, their phone number. You'll see their hours, and then who they're sending it to, which will be you. You'll see that here. Okay, and then you'll also see the name of the company is a debt collector. So they're trying to collect the debt that you owe to whoever the company may be. Okay. And then you will see this is the amount that you owe. If they charge you any interest, they'll put it here, any amount that you may have already paid. And then this is the amount that you owe altogether. Now, this is the most important part. Call or write us by, and then they'll have a date to dispute all or part of this debt. Again, that's what the validation of debt letter is about. And that's what this one is. This is the validation of debt letter that you guys can send to the collection company once you get this letter in the mail, because that's all this letter is. You're asking them to validate that debt. If you write us by this date, we will stop collection on any amount you dispute, and we're disputing all of it until we send you information that show you owe the debt. You may use this form below to write us okay, without the form. And you may also include supporting documents. I'm not going to include anything. The burden of proof is on them. Okay, right to add what else you can do? You can write to ask for the name and address of the original creditor if different from the current creditor. If you write us by this time, we must stop collection until we send you information. In the last episode, I told y'all this. They have to stop the collection. They can't just keep trying to collect on this debt if they don't send you the information that they need to send you. That's why I told y'all need to send out that validation of debt letter. It's a necessity if you ask me. Like, we cannot go around not send. We can't start. We can't go around not sending this letter. Basically, so we definitely have to send out this letter. Okay, you can use the form below, or you can write us. Now you can go to the CFPB to learn more about your rights under federal law. You guys also have state law too that you can use, and contact us about your payment options. And again, we ain't talking about payment options until they validate the debt. And they had this little section where you can actually cut this, and you can mail this back to the company. Hey, I want to dispute this debt because I think the debt is not mine, the amount is wrong, or other. Or I want you to send me the name and address of the original creditor, or I enclose the amount if you want to just settle it. If you need Espanol, you need it in Spanish, then you can say you want this form in Spanish. That's basically what this says. I'm so proud of myself. Y'all know I'm in Spanish too. I'm like, I know what this means. I want this form in Espanol, in Spanish. Okay, I'm so proud of myself. But you can check this off if you need it in Spanish. But again, I want to suggest that I would just go ahead and do this debt validation letter. I would send this to them. That's what I would do. And they got to make sure they have all this information on here. So when you guys get this notice, then this is what I would suggest. This is what you need to send to them. And the notice must include prompts that you can use to help you get the information you need. So I want to dispute this debt because I think the debt is not mine, the amount is wrong, and other. I told you guys that here. And debt information, the debt collector must include the debt information in the debt validation notice: the collector's name, the address, the consumer's name and their mailing address, the name of the creditor that owned the debt, the itemization date, the account number, the name of the creditor who owns the debt currently, also the debt amount on the itemization date, and then the current amount of the debt. That is something that it must include. Okay, now understand this too. The itemization date is one of the following. It could be the date of last monthly payment, the written account statement or the invoice the creditor provided to the customer, the charge off date, the last payment date, the transaction date, or the judgment date. I want you guys to understand that our biggest date that we always want to know when it comes down to these companies is we want to know the last date of activity, because if we know the last date of activity, we'll know if these collection companies are re-aging our debts, which they always do a lot. So we want to know the last date of activity. Once we know that they're re-aging a debt, then that could be a big reason why this account should be removed from your credit report. And also that can be a reason why you tell them, don't contact me anymore. I already have proof that you've been re-aging a debt. Or it can be a reason why you want to sue the company, because that was one of the reasons why I sued Midland, and we came with a settlement agreement. It wasn't that it was dismissed, we settled. So outside of court, we filed with the courts, hey, we came with some type of settlement. I can't talk to you guys about the terms, but I'm happy, okay? I'm happy with the terms, but I saw that they was re-aging a debt. They were changing the amount of debt. It was a whole bunch of stuff that they were doing wrong. So I want you guys to understand what the last date activity could be. And that's the first day that you became delinquent, when you're supposed to pay on your debt, or the last time that you actually paid on the debt. Because you can re-age it yourself by making any type of payment. I don't care if it's $1, 50 cents, whatever you pay. So that's why I tell people, look and see what your statute of limitation date is. Do you want to see how long they have to actually sue you for the debt? So you want to see what that date will be. You want to see, like, if you're in Wisconsin and it's 6 years. We're in 2024 right now, so your 6 years. If your debt was from 2018, that your 6 years is here now. You probably don't want to pay on none of these debts. If it's from 2018 or behind, later, then you might not want to pay on these different debts. I don't care what they talk about. I would suggest you fight these companies to make sure it is not added to your credit reports, because it's going to be very, very important. Now, in the next episode, we're going to talk about why you guys should request validation. And I kind of been talking about this for the last few episodes, but Some people don't get it. Some people scared. They just don't think it's true. When I had to sue Midland, and I had to sue them because I'm getting deleted from everybody's credit reports, but my own, like literally real time. I'm looking at my clients. I'm like, how did I get theirs deleted? And they won't delete mine. I just felt like I had no option but to do it. Like, you know what I mean? So I want you guys to know that it is possible, that you guys can do it, and it's necessary. Like, we don't have any option when it comes down to these companies. So I'm going to talk about, a few things that you guys need to consider. And I did a live recently, or in the last few weeks. I talked about how saw just normal people learning these different rules, and they've been suing these companies, these debt collectors and these different collection companies. They've been suing a lot of companies, and I'm like, I need to get on this. And I want you guys to know that this is possible. If you guys get a phone call, oh, she ain't here, you got my number, we don't do that no more. Like, all of that stuff, we got to stop it for real. We need to send them a notice, and we need to stand on them and say, hey, don't put this on my credit report. Don't contact me. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't email me. Don't leave a voicemail. Don't call my job unless you show me that you actually owe this debt. I need these things. And if they're not doing that, you guys, they're probably going to stop anyway once you send out this notice, because I found out that usually if you do not do anything at all, they're going to continue to attack you. But when you send them a notice to let them know, or you send them a letter like, hey, listen, I'm requesting validation of this debt. And you know how they, on this form, they have like the little things that you can just go ahead and check off right here at the bottom. I want to dispute this debt. When you send this in, they think that you don't know what you're talking about. But if you was to go ahead and just send this in, again, it's the same price to me, to send it in. You're going to pay the same amount. And I suggest you send either or, whichever one you're going to do, send it in certified. When you send this in, they like, oh, snaps. This lady knows exactly what she's talking about, and you can use this to really attack the company. So in the next episode, I'm going to talk about why this is necessary. As much as I've been stressing like it's very necessary, I want to talk about more why it's necessary and a few things that we may overlook. So I'll see you guys there. If y'all have any questions, please go to my website, rickita.com, and schedule a call, and then also get that free validation of that, the validation letter that I sent you, that I showed you guys. Go ahead and get it there. I'll see you guys in the next episode.